Marco Potato, a roboticist, and he's creating this text for radio, and we're looking at perhaps later down the road, and not that far, short road, called Short Street, and it's something about magazines and anthology, evolutionary, sorts of Asimov's points. T. McCormick, lifetime member of Mensa, the International IQ Society, and the oldest one on the planet. Started somewhere in Great Britain years ago. Okay, the year is 2050. Sorry, that was like, let me go. The first one I'll look at is Star Trek Inheritance, and he's written this again, and we're looking at radio. I went into the science world, and for the National Radio Reading Service, I think I went liberal arts, but mostly in mathematics, and that was quite an experience. And we're here now with computer age with our primo half-hour text at the time. So on with this libretto, this wonderful opera, work opus of series John trilogy. Okay. So, Marco, would you tell the audience some of the main ideas from this first paragraph we have? I'll read it aloud.
Okay. What we'll do? We'll have Kate the robot read it.
Okay.
And the main idea is that we have astronomy built in with technology, built in with speculative science in all three stories, from Star Trek Inheritance to Robomen to the Batman of Altair 4.
Okay, good. That gives the listener something to focus on too. I got my index cards. Do you mind if I write this down before we go into it so I can?
Sure.
My memory's an index card these days.
Great.
We are at a specific time today. Gratitude to Doctor Who, gratitude to Star Trek, and all the space number IJK or some eigenvalue on our galaxy. Star Trek Inheritance, so we're looking at now again, and our robot is going to read the first paragraph of it, and Dr. Potato, two heads rather than one, he's going to summarize a bit on it and try and get your questions. If you have questions, sometime please feel free to write to his robo page and or my publishing page with Purple Goat. So, we're talking about looking for astronomy-involved technology and speculative science. Myself, my background was science world, all in with the syndicated. Marco reading all the magazines, that kind of thing, and Carl Sagan's Broca's Brain, and all those kinds of really stirring speculative books dealing with often astronomical issues. And the latest thing is, prime number distribution has a nice jolt to this last couple of years. They found that there is a relationship with the neighbors of the prime numbers. That was before I thought it had been a hoax. Me myself, I'm kind of roughly the fourth generation from T.H. Hardy, and the reason that is the light number theory is where it was from Montezon, the Indian self-taught, got taken to Hardy, and then got TV, and back to India, and then my employer solved counter examples for 6 years I worked with them, four I should say, and he gave me open range, and I could come up with solutions. I got some real big cooked up ideas, or not, so to speak, in a good sense of cooked up. Things are brewing here, and we're going to have the robot again. Here she comes. Okay, here she comes down around the crater lake.
Okay, we're going to have Kate the robot read the first story. Here it goes.
Star Trek Inheritance by Dr. Marco Potato. The year is 2255 and the location is Luna 5 of the Betelgeuse stellar system. Luna 5 and Luna 6 6 are both Earth-sized moons of a Jupiter-sized planet within the Goldilocks zone of the Betelgeuse Sun. Luna 5 is the location of 9,000 Earth settlers, and Luna 6 is the location of over 6 billion marsupial-like beings that are far more advanced than the Luna 5 settlers. The Lunarians of Luna 6 routinely trade with the settlers of Luna 5. There are of course 12 other smaller moons of this Jupiter-sized planet, but none of them are inhabited as of yet.
Thank you, Robota. That is the first block of ideas. And it's a reference to the year that we're talking about. Double twos, double fives, double nickels at the end. And the Luna 5 comes up, and Betelgeuse stellar system is the location. So in sci-fi, there's a lot of times location, like where. And so Luna 5 and 6 are both Earth-size of Jupiter-sized planets. Goldilocks zone. Goes to the sun. Okay. One thing from there, Dr. Marcos. Anything like, can we kind of pull out, extract the astronomy and get like a nice little picture image created with accent?
Okay, in the astronomy we have a stellar system composed of gas giants. Because we know from experience that most of the stellar systems have gas giants. They don't have Earth-sized planets. However, there's nothing that says that it's impossible to have an Earth-sized moon that is inhabited, or even 2, or 3, or 4.
Okay, yeah, good. Stellar location for this festival. Okay. All right.
Okay, let's go to paragraph number 4.
Okay, yeah. Now, this next paragraph, if you're listening to Robota here, assume just go on with casual. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I believe you're saying with larger settlements.
Yes, we're going to read paragraphs 1, 4, and 7.
Okay, it's a nice distribution. Boy. Okay, so, let's see, count guys. Okay, larger of the 7 stages. So we're starting off new Luna, and rich of words, new in Dutch, N-I-E-W-E is new. Novo, like something out of what? That's that. In Hebrew, N-U, which with the vowel shift gets in, and with the V and consonant shift, new is that's that. That's it. You know, it's one letter, the new, like an N kind of thing. But what it means is that's that. And you can carry all day, like 0-1 Boolean algebra. Also, it's known as elite groups, 0 and 1 are the elements in the group. Kind of buries itself. So thinking of groupoids, it's lacking, maybe it's with operators. Anyway, or other axiomatic tools for groups. Okay, let's go ahead and now we're talking. Seekers.
Okay, Kate the robot's going to read paragraph number 4.
The larger of the settlement cities is Nova Luna and its population is 8,000. The smaller of the settlements is Vexio Luna and its population is only 1,000. For 100 years the 2 human settlements have been at peace. Both settlements of and make wide use of cosmic string-produced power for all their machines that they use. Both settlements also make use of defensive robots that defend their cities. The robots of Vexio Luna make use of shields that defend them from direct energy weapons bursts, whereas the robots of Nova Luna make use of hyperdimensional travel and can easily pierce the defensive shields of the robots of Vexio Luna.
Okay.
Sure, go ahead. We're looking for now, maybe, yes, astronomy, but let's focus on technology. We can't do this. We cover all these areas closer. Your spin-off, so to speak, of technology in this idea, block of ideas.
Okay, now we're looking at 3 technologies: defensive shields, hyperspatial travel, and cosmic string produced electric power.
Okay, yeah, those are very powerful. That's what I would have its progeny. not too far. It's been on the earth the last 100 years, maybe. But not 100 or around touch of 55. So it's a good. Mayo. Okay. And within, and then how do you see speculative? And it's kind of hint with the next paragraph. We're going to look at number 7 and look at the speculative focus. Here's the Britannics. Hyperdimensional travel is feeling of removal of limiting ideas, so to speak, unlimited dimensions. Is that so? Is it finite?
No, we're looking in terms of hyperspatial travelers travel through n dimensions, where n dimensions could be an infinite number of dimensions.
Nice concrete, context-dense. Quadratic demonstration of that, which is demonstrated or quite easily done for the Mad Magazine group up there. So, Vizio. Well, Vizio is a word meaning like life, or this get busy, or what?
No. It's not Vizio, it's Vecchio. Vecchio is Italian, it means old.
Okay. In Hebrew is vet. Perkovet is like abbot, like the Vietnamese in Hebrew are right closest to the point. When you die, nobody's be writing it. So okay, that's pleasure. This language fits in. This is funny because Hebrew's been I think it was 5775 beyond, and number theory there, and you got on the calendar and thing with the Jerusalem University just recently, a Russian thing going on, but Vecchio so old, like again, the respect for the elders, like some religions have like elders as higher placed as sources for wisdom to for good direction of life. So Vecchio is not that far from the Hebrew of like vet, which is like fathers, like Abed or Abba, that's the more common idea. And then Perkovet is like the study the laws or whatever, the stories like that. And also living and there are some like that group. Okay, so that's something that has a root in the past. That's a nice little. Is that like a foreshadowing of maybe something later? The moon that is old, the old moon. Altai. That's the penultimate and Altai is like the moon.
Well, it's not so much old moon as old city moon.
Oh, city? As in like political, geographical thing?
Correct.
Okay. All right. The construct of life on the table. Okay. Direct energy weapons bursts. That's tech.
Correct.
Okay. Locations. So how we're doing this again? Unbounded. Okay. I was thinking way back in the history of man that this idea of defensive shields, okay, is kind of like leaning towards, I guess, like connotations of invasion, maybe, and so we're protected. And I think it's like the Star Trek sometimes, of course. What I'm guessing at is the wealth of the community, in a sense, or value, maybe architecture or whatever, to protect it, like from 9/11, say, capital, because of the situation. So I'm thinking like Babylon for some reason. There's a book called The Richest Man of Babylon, and Babylon fell, of course. And, so the remnants of it were that, the book Richest Man in Babylon, the connection is, part of that gaining wealth is that you have defensive protection of what you are. So that this comes up. So this is an interesting thing. I mean, wealth in the sense of, healthy funny, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, we're looking at the technology as well as already the astronomy factors, or vectors are guided with weight and direction, magnitudes. And then the speculative. I'd like you to, if you want to think of getting an image of that, think of Omni Magazine's far ahead, so to speak, daring, boldness as a genius, acts, moves, behaviors, getting us into what could possibly be down the line in time, many years from now. I really took it seriously. I was in like number theory. I had Dr. Angelo from Stockholm, Sweden, and for 7 years, 14 semesters, we followed the tape, the natural law. Basically, the instant equality, the cap, top cap is a line, a measure, leg type measure, and on the LNZ function. So, but the idea is that the future speculative is out there, research already, really. I mean, some of the applications of research is something like multivariate complex variables. It's hot, it's open field, 2-to-1 mappings in complex 1 are pretty much tapped out, but always still somewhere birds. So we're looking like, this thing is like out there, in speculative country, and which is not really, maybe to the mortal eye it doesn't, catch where all the stuff's hidden in the archives of either internet or your local university library or local city library, your free school library. So go into which, please, what is the key motivational factor indeed for defensive shields? Is it really just a part of the offensive? I'm a conscientious objector, say, Unitarian, over-friends. Okay, so why do we need to defend ourselves? The Babylon thing.
Okay. They're defending themselves because for over a century they've been battling over water rights because Lunar 5 is a desert planet.
Excellent. Okay. Mama raises again. The mind works. It's reassembling, re-elementing, remembering, remember an element, re-elementing, recalling, and this goes back into situations that have pre-shadowed, precursored, certain things that really are out there going on, and it's not that much of an intuitive leap to see how easily it could happen by certain situations where the dynamics are right with, say, evolution or etymology of the words of this business of exploiting the world, the universe. I'm really happy with the robots. It's still around. You know what I mean? It's like they haven't been replaced. It's like cars, There have been other things, but cars are still around. Or like, other things. Old timers, these guys and gals, that like the government that has like a 5-core disk, for security. If you're gothic, retro, sci-fi, speculative science person. Okay, have your heart at go to 7. Okay, robotic. And I'm the leader of that Dr. Job. This is
Okay.
5, 6. It looks like it. So they'll let her read and then see what we're looking with the material and see where we can go with this evolutionary life in this group of characters.
Okay. Kate is eager to read paragraph 7. Let's let Kate read paragraph 7.
The very next day, Dr. Einschau agrees to meet with Dr. Hugo Jones Bach and sign a peace treaty among the two cities of Novo Luna and Vexio Luna. This peace treaty allows the two cities to independently search and make use of drinking water found at various locations between the two cities, after which Dr. Einchow returned to Vexio Luna and ordered all 500 of the citizens on Luna 6 to be transported back to Vexio Luna. Within 2 years, the population of Vexio Luna exceeds 1,000.
Interesting. Okay. 1,000 folks. Well, you know, what goes to my head is psychology, and for random choices, in a group like 1,000 people, you can get a lot of information from 35 random samples. We're talking about those kind of numbers. So I'm thinking like psychometrics, what would be measured of, say, changes in the universe that would have been something that affected mindsets, directions, decision-making, operations, research, right? Mathematical models. Well, is that chip still around? Nanotechnology is always a day away, whatever. So, and fiber optics, all those little things that might be around here, it's not quite as nice as normal, but we're above normal. So intertelephones or whatever. Okay. Go to town with this, please. And talk about a little bit of Engchow, Dr. Engchow, the lower sex, and Dr. Evil Gershbeck. If I remember right, you said okay. Gershbeck and I never said the name of Gershbeck. Is that a colonel, like a Swerst colonel, like or the colonel?
No. I chose the name Hugo Gernsback after the first editor of Amazing Stories, which was later changed to Analog Science Fiction and Fact.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. That's the title you said. Something that happened like 50 years or 60 years ago. The title. That's okay. Cool. And that gives a bit of a sense of the basis being there in sci-fi. I mean, and what universe has what as a basis in dimensional places. And Dr. Obeda was chosen, of course, with titles, working titles, or titles, doing the work of, cognitive work of, and mood vibes too, effective folks. Yeah, feel for it. So, like, with that in mind, what indeed can one say about, who's a good guy, bad guy? These guys are all good guys so far, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. And drinking water is, is he ever human, or are they kind of like half like cyber, organs, or?
They're fully human.
Okay, fully human. Okay. Okay.
But they are genetically enhanced.
Genetically enhanced. Wow. Yeah.
They're genetically enhanced to be smarter, have a very strong immune system, and be very long-lived. Each one of them can live 200 years.
Okay, excellent. So all that early 80s, 90s research on genetics is still going through from working on immune systems. And I was just talking to somebody yesterday or today about immune systems and how homeopathic medicine works for the herbal guys and gals, but and also like the medical model of Western medicine with the giving a taste of when the immune system is looking to react and prepared. Then once the vaccine's been introduced, that's a homeopathic idea too. You introduce just a speck of percentage-wise of the pathogen, and your immune system gets turned on because it's there. It's not a lot there, but it's enough for it to click it, and then your immune system is seeing that as a pathogen. So when God forbid you get exposed to something larger, or any quantity or power, or with a weaker immune system, it still can act on the pathogen, doing it so it's looking for taste and variations.
Correct.
the second brain, we have input and response. You know, input output. You have the response coming from what is in the environment or whatnot, internally or cerebrally or historically or by priests of thousands of years. In a sense, they're like Maya, 2010 kind of thing. There are all these studies of astronomy and the coordination of this down to Mother Earth. You know, like horn, gods and that kind of thing, which could be probably translated not too difficultly by seeing what maps to it in a sense of higher existence of sorts that's a deity or whatnot. Okay, so that is really cool stuff. The last thing I want to say was, like, if you live 200 years, does that mean, like, when you have a gap year after high school and you're going to start college next year, does that mean, like, if you take out climbing, you go to, like, the Dolomites in France to do limestone climbing for a year, you know, live 200 years, what's the actuary say to you? What's the insurance company say to you? You know, is it worth the climb and perhaps, like, damage, crush the spinal constructs such as the vertebrae and the thoracic or whatnot, and what are changes from, what are the residual effects of enhancing, this is a big one, genomes, genetic restructuring. I know, for example, I don't know about you, but we got, the legalization of medical cannabis, and I can remember one study, so I was talking with somebody I knew, and he gave a talk on genomes that have response to marijuana, and if you have the 14 genomes and the two with two are neutral kind of sense about cannabis, the other two have like a 50 to 70% chance of someone getting acutely paranoid from smoking marijuana, and if you have the other gene, it's like 90% chance. And if you know those, he didn't know what to say, but Dr. Freeze, he just recently passed away, like this last half year. He said, well, do you do that? Smoke your head off, I guess. So, there's consequences of genome or genetic re-engineering. So it was actually probably cerebral, body, and what I just was talking about. Tech relations and decision making, and that's what's in there too. So, how do you make a decision when you're 20? You only do 200, you go climbing, and you solo and leave the rope at home, and someone's documenting it, or what's the standard thing to do? Actuaries. There's some like actuary, some I don't know what in Litvak, doing the stuff in their head or something. Decision making is really key, and it's like the brain, response, input, output, environmental or internal cognitive or external cognitive moods, all factors on communication, words, chain results of words being precursors to sequences of characters of meaning. So how in the world does everyone get outside of this world into their mindset to make a decision when everything else changes? The world's changed. It was still the Nobel Prize literature, or the gentleman Bugs or Dylan might say, in relation to that, he had a nice little interview. I saw it. It's like, he doesn't know what these things. Some people ask him about it. And it's really like an operations research or mathematical model's problem to say where's the weighted means of when we put emphasis on risk-taking behavior with in a gap year at 20, we have another one like at 199, gain of 200. Let's talk about that. This would be, what I'm talking about is really this topic of the third topic, subtopic would be speculative science. So, psychology is basically, medical is basically considered like, hard science and stuff. So I think most people, we're having gone through enough long time of soft science. And so anyway, give me your feedback, please, on the speculative decision making that would be consequential. We would make not the same decision if we lived 120. I understand that's what we're geared towards if everything environmentally goes well. Right now we're genetically at 120 as top years until the Grim Reaper comes in and doesn't fill Harvester, National Galactical Harvester, Intergalactic. Okay, summary on professors. I'm going through. Well, the form of the ideas, would you please? How does one go about living 1,000 years and being 200 years old? Living amongst the community of 1,000 and then being in the four future fairly significantly in the bulk part of being in that 200-year age bracket. I can imagine like race walks, right? Who doesn't need a race walk? You've got like the race walk does like 30-34, and then like, I don't know, one race we had, like I said, national record at the 50s before in the same heat, and so like that's not that terribly much of a risk, because in fact it gives you motivation to exercise, and go in direction. But how does this affect like the population that's a down or so, and if you have die off from some unusual thing, it seems like normal bell curve, you've got some stability, but then you've always got the outliers on the edges of the town and direction of town, and where does that lead us into some event horizon? We're trying to remove ourselves from removable singularities, the same complex variables. Removable singularities are good guess, bad guess, or map into simplistical relatively respectively. Okay, take care. Well, 200 years, of age. When does somebody get married for the first time? I quote, like this is standard talk about, but the Chinese say like for mates, like half age plus 7 for the male to find a female mate. So yeah, from 56, 28 plus 7, 30, I'm looking for 35 rooms, that kind of thing. Whoever lives to be 200 and somebody's head. Go ahead, guy.
Okay, well, when you have a lifespan of 200 years, the dynamics and the options differ than when you have a lifespan of only 80.
Okay, yeah, no, that's very cold-hearted. I call it cold facts, cold-hard facts. You can wrap your knuckles on that one. It's pretty solid. Yeah, I can see it. 80 is that's about now, right? That's what I mean. When I was tested for longevity, I had like in the 70s, 75 or something in the neighborhood as a number. So now we're saying 80s with faster tools for better health and longevity, right? As you're saying. And
Correct.
now we're going into the genetics are just. You understand? Every thing I heard, and I'm not sure the source, but it sounds like pretty sound logic. There are always those other factors that you don't see if you're like not specifically in. You start to see glimpses of other factors that might change the results of something, double blind or something. So you got 20 years to live, and the genetics may change. Now I understand, and what they're saying recently is that the genetics that fall through as what that person is in that moment of time can be altered with one's own mind. You can actually, this might be like a meditation type practice. The genes and then the genomes under, visualization down. The genomes are there, and you can actually, with your mind, supposedly change cell structures. And you can add like a tolerance to cancer, or those kind of things are really worth getting into. That's why people have an interest in like Eastern, I think, because we're looking at half of the world's medicine. We've got
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, that's like you say.
Okay. Let's go to the next story called Robomen.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Right.
Kate is eager to read this one.
Okay. You call her Katie?
Kate.
Okay.
Kate the robot.
Okay.
You ready?
Let me get this cleared up. I got the Batman Voltaire floor on the window in my. I'm looking for a Roboman, right? There we are, Roboman. Okay. Go on.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll start. Kate is going to read it now.
Okay, Roboman, but Dark. Okay.
Rob Owen by Dr. Marco Bittetti. Sector. The Enterprise was calmly cruising the Delta Quadrant with a relaxed crew on board. Then suddenly they came upon an Earth-sized spherical spaceship that was silvery in color as it appeared on the view screen. Captain Jason Eckert then ordered the communications officer Alicia Harrison to hail this alien starship. Within minutes, a video communications link was set up between these two starships. On the one, Captain Eckert was talking to Commander 45,645 of the Rob Oman starship and leader of the Rob Oman scientific expedition.
Okay. How's this for close encounters of the third kind?
I'm gonna put myself on tacit mode. That's music. I'm gonna hold and listen. We're looking at Dr. Botello's wisdom and vision. As we say, like from far into the future, where the horizon isn't always dark and obscure, but in darkness given, besides removal singularity, say, event horizon contact point, puncta. The counterpoint is its complement to an infinite way of different energies, called bipolar type with positive energy or black hole type energy, light and darkness. So this is a situation of genetics and the subgenetics, subgenes. What can we control with our psychic energy from, say, pineal gland, light melatonin dosages, and all those good things that make a vision clear as a goal as man continues to on a timeline where in new space it's void of form that becomes being by meaning, and we're asking Dr. Potato to give meaning to some of these ideas that are complementary to what's on the page. Line between lines. See, our fellow astro blues singer Tracy Chapman would say, believe in rock and roll. Okay, go ahead. Moon rock and roll. Oh, gracious.
Oh.
Go ahead. This music is savage. Like I said, climate phase, hard moving and fast liquor.
Okay, well, we're looking at some interesting phenomena where I modeled this after the Star Trek Next Generation Borg. But unlike the Borg, we're not dealing with a meta-intelligence, but we're dealing with robotically enhanced individuals.
Plasma enhanced, yeah. That's anything around limiting, and what about spiritual beliefs of ethic, say, or ethos, or is this hybridization, right? This is hybridization between, of two different sources, beyond the closest of normal sources.
Okay, we're dealing with, in this case, no religious, because they're mechanized beings that are totally logic-based. Sort of my variant of the Vulcans. And they have, with their logic, their own ethics.
Excellent. Big area to talk about. Ethics committees. Please continue.
Okay. So in this case, we're dealing with curiosity, in that the Enterprise encountered a scientific expedition craft that was an Earth-sized spherical spaceship. So we're looking at the acquisition of knowledge of the unknown.
Right. Okay. This stuff goes on. At least 30 years ago, I bet a long time before, like Greek philosophers like Dan Brown or somebody like that. But in the cave, you have facts, right? You have facts, and then there is a logic system, and everybody's got some kind of their own logic system. mean, but the idea of decision making through logic can, by axioms and a structure of logic, easily feed into an applied situation. So, with the power and the ability, robots have with the ability to undig some of these factors into actual application and growing with out the actual factoids or facts in the future. There's enough information now to extend the logic systems and the calculus of the system to bring it into play where one can see how to deal with the future a lot easier with a properly trimmed logic-based construct structure. Yeah, what governs the structure of logic? Ethics is there. There's a story about in the Holy Country that in the sense of what had happened was without the government, most people maybe would think, okay, what would that lead to? Anarchy and what things like King of Samuel, that you have actually colonies that ethics, that there's no need for government, and that excludes even the need for, and that includes the need that it would not be having to include anarchy. You have every single individual in the community knows ethics. I think you easily program somewhere like that into, futures into that and fall for the humanist factor of the logic as well. As the effective mood. Everybody knows ethics. Everybody knows the answer to the problem. Agreement. The governments come in and say, I'm the left or right. Okay. Limit the work, increase productivity. I don't know what, but yeah, those are good. That's like Titanic's tip of the iceberg. Say the ice age of astrophysics or something. Let's wrap up this one. You want to go through your gal, Robota?
Okay, Kate is going to read paragraph 4, and then we'll go to the last paragraph.
Okay.
The Enterprise party noticed that the interior of the Roboman starship was cold, austere and shiny metallic looking. Aside from the Roboman transporter operator, there was no life on board this starship. The party was suddenly met by 32,134 and 32,134 led them up to the bridge of the starship to meet with 45,645. In about an hour's walk, they were finally before 45,645 and talking standard galactic English. 45,645 then introduced the Enterprise party to the entire crew of the bridge and explained to them that all the controls on the ship were controlled by the thoughts of the Roboman, and the displays were holographic in nature and could only be seen holographically.
How's that for technology?
It's like, what do you say, smells like Robo-Teen Spirit or something, half my age and stuff. Yeah, that's really a lot of stuff, holographics, anything, any numbers, oh my, that's a really nice place on the numbers. 32134, little correlations in that number of the actual single digit places, and 45645, like a 6 is in the middle of 45. That's a nice, interesting number there too. One time I was so excitedly looking for things to do. I memorized 165 places in 3 study sessions of 2-3 hours, and they're always little things. They go 283 and 203 and 238. They analyze permutations, whatnot with numbers, and I was blown away. I can't wait to get back to. There's got to be some kind of obvious thing. These numbers are very reminiscent of that thing that's now. A little more well versed with power tools because he's got prime number distribution, characteristics, and its numbers, characteristics, neighbor to the primes. Or near primes, to an extent. Controlled. But the thoughts of the robot, if they can change the machine, it's like the hot rod, Midwest hot rod guy. He's floored at the front brakes, vroom, 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 and then all of a sudden the light goes and he peels out, wheel stand peel out. And with that kind of thing, you wonder, boy, if he did on his foot, what if he applied his mind to some things, So, that's the machismo of the Midwest, like a driver, or a race car driver, quarter mile or something. Okay, so holographic innate cuisine, holographically, yeah, that's, the mind maps of holographics are around too. It's just, as I say now, it's a little bit, not quite the hard science credit, I think sometimes, in certain areas. Not the guys that are from NIMH or NIH or wherever, it's the mind and its well-being. But holographics, it's going to play, like your third-dimensional, right? Your machines of paper products, I would say, in a good sense. Well, give us like one line. Well, where do numbers 32134 come up? And that's a little bad thing. Two by two embedding thing. EMBED embed. Where's the chair? Yeah. Only be seen. Okay, that's something. Well, where does that go? Only be seen. So you have to have equipment to envision, it's like an MRI or we still have measure through what's not able to be seen by the naked eye.
Well, they have neuromorphic implants that allow them to mind meld with their machines, which are artificially intelligent.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Wow. I said, oh my goodness. That's like a can of worms for Popeye. That's really the strong point of what you can start doing with. Now with the nanotechnology of basically what's included in brain studies. I mean, now they like Parkinson's with electronic components. The defibrillator was the first one, right? Came around with, or not the first one, it was Jarvis, Ryan Russell, that guy. So their implant, so it's a mind melt with that communication is a mind melt, right? That's like a bridging, that's like a translation, sort of, in English, or like it's like languages. I would guess it's just a little bit different quirk on the idea of what constitutes language, communication, lexical access drill, or something like that. My appetite is very much whetted, and I tell you, I've been training for walking across the desert for a lot of years. So, I will wrap up anything beyond the holographical. How does it seem today? What are if we want to map it back to today, where would you see the widgets are the beginning stepping stones of the processing
Okay.
Where do we come with, I think a book I got in my library on holographic, the mind. It's kind of like an acid trip for post-acid, research, like quantum keys, that kind of stuff. We're looking at the school bus, it's so, how do we travel through this world of holographics from, early, before us, first glimpses to now to, thousands of years from now.
Okay. Well, in terms of the holographic displays and the thought control of machines, that's already in the works with the U.S. military.
So, I'm thinking of, do you remember the movie Beautiful Mind with John Nash? And he thought he had been implanted with something like a mind meld nano, or it wasn't nano, but sort of micro, so he thought he had artificial things, and they wrote it off as he was having a bit of difficulty with what was real and what wasn't. But these things are now available on pet dogs too, right? I mean, like the dogs can get tracked down, or they're, right? That's not too far. That's to I will name it the dog science. I guess what you call that, canine.
Well, that is possible also.
Yeah. So really, I mean, besides, there's like the early days of experimenting on animals, like rhesus monkeys, or like prisoners or soldiers, or maybe those who have brain disorders, looking for a cure, hopefully, something to push society ahead and take as many people as you can with you. The holographics really are out here, and who knows what it is. It's not a safe climb. You get when technology comes along, it's exponential. It's the mirror image of that natural light see thing. It's a fixed line, firm line of say, y equals x, f of x equals x, f of z equals z. And all those other dimensions can be, and that holography talked about. Hello, I hope you're enjoying your Venus instead of Venezuelan coffee decaf, with milk, latte, or leche, or whatever. So let's talk about the language that is communicated. Call it language. Say characters represent meaning, like icons or lexicons or iconic events that happen in history that make a note with deep meaning. What is the holographic language that it transmits between human and artificial intelligence-bearing creatures?
That would be a simple collection of equations.
And then Boolean, like 0 1s? All 0 1s is a...
No, we're talking very sophisticated equations.
Okay.
Because the machines are artificially intelligent.
So, like now we're in probably like 35, 40 years in mathematics departments all over the world that have access to proof resolution to QED, Claude Air demonstrating that quite easily. That which is to be shown demonstrated. So, like with those ideas, there's a whole big picture of a world in another dimension with the communication of characters, with meaning, and like I would say, like probably like postdoc mathematics, right? I mean, where's the ICKs? Hamiltonian, all kinds of like quirky. Oh boy, I wish see what are the all kinds of sort. I had a stereotype. Picard, right? Picard was actually a clever hint of the immune system saying to embrace the input and create output from basically variables of complex nature. There's a square root negative 1 as an x, y, or f, z, f, c, whatever's unconventional. There's like what used to have RPNs, reverse Polish notation. Now we have robo Polish notation, right? This is what the language is talking about. So the communication's there, and you can put it out, right? There's something, I guess you have a visual of what's going on to explain a phenomenon, an event between moments, I guess it'll be moments between two events.
Correct.
Yeah.
Imagine reading an e-book holographically.
Must be a deep book, right? Judge a book by the spine, not its cover. Or judge a reader by the spine. Good posture. It's good to have reading. Okay, that's right. I think that's a factor I wasn't thinking of quite that clear of an idea. Just the next step over. Equations can, homology. I still, my life was changed by a book I found in the Eastern European, like Lithuanians or Hungarians and whatnot. Those areas that produce such fine minds. And the thing is, the icons are just as readily availably clear to see a homology has the same structure in whatever language you're in. The book was written about languages in Europe and throughout the rest of the world, and see what I do is I go along that data in my own brain I grew up with, is that what are the strongest words you have in a typical life, a day in the life of, quote unquote. Things like food. If you're going to pick up a book on learning a new language, what words are in the conversation as a regular thing across the band, across the spectrum, no spectrum, just one spectrum. And that's, it's like, it's like the spectrum is no spectrum. We're talking about like all the like see now, languages on Earth, and all of us saying, similar, need to express similar things. As you get farther and farther from the simplest things, it gets more complicated. Like, starting at Renovation about modeling.
Well, in actuality, things are rather interesting.
It's like being well published,
Correct.
Yeah. It's interesting, and it has needs of other people, other constructs, which is where to have a dire need to use their product service as demographics, the business, and there's a lot to it. It needs jumping from one dimension to another. Your support systems, besides your food and water, traveling, making a living because you're living still, or you're going to stop, go back to cool. Being assigned reefer. Okay, so we're talking about really, if you look at it, see Australia again, you have a barrier reef, right? And just like your mind, you have a barrier reef in your mind that filters out the blood so you don't get toxins in your brain, which causes it to go into like fight or flight, all those other unfortunate things that aren't comfortable. But like if you have Australia, you get the reef, right? And outside the reef, on the other side of the continent, you have very lively colors in the creatures that survive up there. Because every day they are facing the ocean. And the skies and space are really an ocean. It's a fluid, it's a fluid world. And the viscosity, very fresh and moving, and very clear, lucid. You see that thing. And then the other side, behind the barriers, don't get the workout of experience every day as they drove what they call, like in the 80s, Mr. Neutral or Mr. Beige. So that was like one of those 80s My Remote movies, I think. But anyway, the rule of Saxon is that if you want to survive, you better have a good hook on it, because there's not busy being born or busy dying, as Dylan said. But so we'll carry it on. My screen is on blank on time. We're kicking it back in here.
Okay, let's go to the last paragraph we're going to have Kate read, and here it is.
As Captain Eckert finished speaking, the head of the Roboman constellation radioed 45,645 and requested an update as to the events that transpired. 45,645 then stated that they were in the presence of an alien beings that belongs to a federation of planets that spans 3/4 of the galaxy, and that these human beings were not hostile. 98,999, who is the head of the Roboman constellation, broke in and stated that they should take steps to become a member of the Federation, and that 45,645 should take the starship to the location of the Federation headquarters. At the conclusion of this communication, Captain Jason Eckert hailed the Enterprise and stated that the boarding party were going to beam back via the Roboman transporters, after which, one of the Roboman led the Enterprise boarding party to the transporter, and 45,645 began to think orders for a linked departure to the location of the Federation headquarters.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. That sounds so cool. I mean, I can see how this is, to me, this is like perfect material for a new age in this electronic publishing world to be the next, like what you'd say Heathers is, the movie Heathers, like a Darwin, such a Darwin place in New York when I was hiking primarily. And talking about now the movie, the cult movie, was Heathers at Darkness at the time. It had been a few years like that. So this is like really prime material for like a cult type. I mean, it's not mainstream. Is there higher art, low art? Really, is there dividing lines? Is this now higher? Is this inside or outside? All those things, This thing, this is like has a really nice, sounds like Martian fever for the brain. It's fodder for the brain. If you're gonna read something, have it on your line on the schedule to talk to somebody. I say that's a good thought. Even if you don't think about the book that you just read, bring up some lexical access to your storage units in your brain. So that's what I think. So Martian, Venetian, iced coffee. That's what I'm going for now. Okay, we got one more guy to go at?
Yes, now we have the Batman of Altair 4. And Kate is eager to read the first paragraph.
Okay,
Let's let Kate the robot read it.
yeah.
The Batman of Altair 4, by Dr. Marco Bitetto. The Enterprise was cruising the Gamma Quadrant when they received a hyperspatial communication from Admiral Kai. Admiral Kai directed the crew of the Enterprise to go to Altair 4, where a series of hyperspatial transmissions were detected. In particular, the transmissions came from the fourth planet in the six-planet stellar system. Hence, the Enterprise's mission is to go to the fourth planet of the Altair stellar system and investigate the source of the hyperspatial transmissions that seem to be both a binary and spoken language form of hyperspatial communications directed to outposts distant from Altair 4.
Okay, so let's talk about this.
Well, I think, for my distaste, fault has come up about the pundit. Pundit means like near the diction of the source. The dictation is like penultimate, but this is not penultimate, it's pundit, as in we're speaking in French, C-H-E, donc je ris, right? We're talking out loud. D-D-I-T. I think you're a primary source, so let's get it straight from the source of the creator, the source of this work, possible premature cult text industries of the communication nature. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, in this case, we see something similar to the search for extraterrestrial life by listening to radio signals from space. Correct. And of course, the signals come both in the form of binary and spoken language.
Ability to express in one just as well as from the other.
Correct.
I might interject quickly on in Kabbalah. Before getting married, I spent time studying Kabbalah. You have similar dynamic. We said some things actually are in any language, any form of communication, is actually in a system of the mind, a way that cannot be expressed in any words. And this is just the opposite, since it has the power to communicate in words of all common backgrounds to reassociate, elements, remember, pull out a recall, which we need to go through. Yeah, so yeah, go on with that stuff. Go.
Okay. Let's go to the fourth paragraph.
The Altairian Batman creature activated its own version of a universal translation device that was on its wrist and was the size of a wristwatch. Within a matter of seconds, the translation device translated an ultrasonic series of whistles and clicks into standard galactic English. The result was that the creature introduced itself as Captain McPock of the stellar ship Ping-G. The Enterprise's science officer, Dr. Minelli Canelli, immediately noted that the being was a male in the form of a Batman creature without wings and with two large erect standing ears on either side of his head. Captain McPock then welcomed the crew of the Enterprise to Altair 4, the home planet of the Batman. Captain Pock further stated that the Batmen are a speeder that eagerly, scientifically and mathematically investigates the world about them and read by using a 12-dot system of a tactile language. Then Dr. Dishla asked Captain Nick Pock to borrow his universal language translation device from his wrist, and he then eagerly handed it over to Dr. Dissel. Dr. Dissel then used it to train the Enterprise's universal translator to translate the spoken Batman language into galactic English. Within a matter of minutes, the Enterprise neuromorphic computer was able to successfully translate galactic English into the Batman spoken language and vice versa. Then Dr. Dissel handed over the wristwatch-sized universal translator to Captain Nick Pock and thanked him. At the same time, both universal translators translated the standard galactic English words "thank you" into the ultrasonic whistles and clicks that the Batman captain could understand, and in response both the translators spoke in standard galactic English the response "you're welcome."
Okay, now how's that for linguistic translation?
You stayed there that one time, you know?
What?
There's a nice hook there.
Hey.
There's a hook, I think that really, I mean, it's a very nice, altogether holistic presentation of a lot of stimulating ideas, yet not free of confusion. I mean, we don't want to confuse anybody. It's not right. I think actually it's just religions. So, you know, to keep the format clear, lucid, again, you know, clarity, that's cloud, that's clear, you know, clarification experience. Now, like, communicate with somebody, you want to say that's that, you and keep that's clouds or whatever, you know, like closed. This is clear and closed. It's not completely discrete at all, but there's a nice thread, or threads holding it all together. That thread, a secondary thread, you know, going from the mind. How much detail does one of these people have in their daily life?
I would imagine that their detail is quite extensive and quite different from that of the typical human, in that they are seeing using sonar as opposed to light.
Okay, yeah.
Where they can actually see through objects.
In an abstract way and in a material way.
There you go.
There's a lot of power, yeah. A lot of power. What's our physics equation for power? Is it power, mass, distance? That what I meant. But yeah, you know, the power of this is a light, I think, is turned on in any kind of darkness that one might have from a clean slate, or just that you know, you want to juggle both, and you have a clarity from where the world stopped and where it started again. And as a basis, the strong foundation of the rock steady. So, we got one more paragraph or anything else?
Yes. Kate is going to read the last paragraph.
Once at the location of the home planet of the Federation, both starships began to exit hyperspace and orbit Earth. Captain Eckert then opened up a communications channel with Captain Pock and gave him the beaming down coordinates of the meeting room of the Federation High Council. In a matter of minutes, the transporter operator got the coordinates, and Ping Ping was standing on the transporter ready to beam down. Suddenly, Ping Ping was materializing outside the open doors of the meeting room. Once the materialization process completed, Ping Ping entered the large meeting room and was greeted by everyone in the room as the wrist-size universal translator told her. She then told everyone there that she was sent by the Great Leader to see to it that the Altairians also became part of the Federation of Planets. Even Captain Eckert was present. After about an hour, the verdict was that the Altairians were permitted to join the Federation of Planets. The Vulcan ambassador stated that Ping Ping was welcome to stay with them until their embassy was finished being constructed. She then said thank you to Ambassador Nigaru.
Okay.
Very nice. That's, what is it, terse? Is that's the old English word, right? Thirst.
Yes, yes.
And yeah, that's it. I don't know, it said a little, I'm not trying to advertise it. There was a little book I picked up. It was micro stories, which is a limitation of 1,000 words as a micro story definition. And they had collections in this book, one China and one Australia. It was a nice combination of those two cultures together. It was kind of a unique thing, like the exercise for art. They take 2 or 3 different things, usually 3, and put them together in one painting and bring them together to express something you might not otherwise, something that's created in parts. So, yeah. Wow. Okay. We'll cut there. Another joke. Start with serious business.
No, at this point, let's conclude this part of the radio program.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we'll give me 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Hi, and isn't outer space at least questioning no longer so heavily? If you're looking for hell, I don't know where you look, except for someplace literally a long time goes like a third down from Africa's top part beaches, third from the right-hand side. And somewhere there's a cave with brimstone, and they used to bury people there. But okay, besides that, the hell I was gone through as we get to years. Well, the heavens are definitely intact, and if you didn't know, you've got more brain cells than stars in the galaxy we are in, like galactose. So we are talking about this radio show as being kind of like on the edge of not only the cynical avant-garde, but on the edge of cult type films, or so this is in status nature of a magazine set, but also radio. And I hope yeah, this has to pull off an analogy on that. I think this material, Dr. Phil, with great respect, it's just really nice, comfortable reading. You have to give a lecture, postdoc, French lecture notes, but to get into that mindset. And to tell you, what I look for is always I'm fishing when I'm reading this stuff that's got, and so I'm fishing for that seed that's planted that throws us into the imagination that radio has. And you get a different view, so to speak. You get a different experience. Like kids might say, real experimental lucidity is just waiting, for the bomber to signal for that fisherman, bring it on in, and look at this nice catch you got right here, and then soon, Doctor Who, Time Warp, good stuff. And we'll look at it for the radio sense in cyber radio coming up, and we'll announce that. Purple Coat's going under some construction. We can try to push it there, but the RoboCop Facebook page probably the best research to see where we're going with when we release the series of radio programs. Thank you.